Hello, Mark. So you went through my DVDs
Yes.
and you found The Godfather 1. Now, how do you find Godfather 1? I think it's amazing. There isn't any flaws. It's one of my favorite films of all time. So, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm not horsing around here. To be honest with you, I really like the first Godfather as well. I think it's a very good film.
All right. So zero flaws. It's excellent. Okay.
No, I wouldn't go that far. No, I certainly wouldn't. There's a fight scene when James Caan finds out that his brother-in-law is beating his sister. When he's having a fight with beating up his brother-in-law, you see some punches being thrown by James Caan, the actor, and he's not connecting, and yet the guy is falling. So I didn't.
It happens, man.
But you have to connect to make him.
He was hitting him. It was just like that.
No.
That he's swung and it was
Also, that first scene at the wedding, I thought was a little bit dragged on a bit. It was setting the characters,
Yeah.
but and I like that. I appreciated.
Characters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was good. I just would have done it a little bit differently, but I think, I mean, The Godfather, the first one, is a really good film.
A flaw would be in his mouth. The thing. Like he has. He has cotton in his mouth. I fucking hate that. That's the only thing.
I really enjoyed the acting. I loved the cinematography. And actually, what I really found interesting, too, is it's a very darkly shot film. A lot of times you'll watch films and they make them over. Yeah, and a lot of times they make films overly bright. This one was recorded and filmed very dark, and it worked very well for the style of film. So I really enjoyed its dark cinematography. Yeah. And the characters, like I said, very, very appealing, very interesting. And yeah, I love the film. It's in my collection myself. So.
All right. So how about this one? Wait. Put this some in there. My Al Pacino section.
We should comment about Al Pacino that they wanted to take him out of the film. They actually didn't, and I mean, he's such an integral part of the film that without him, the film wouldn't have had the impact that it does. Yeah. He did a great job, and that's why they showed that sequence where he shoots a couple of the guys in the face at the restaurant.
It's a great scene.
Yeah, it's so well shot, so well edited. I mean, the way they brought the sound effects, yes, and you feel the tension. Everything about that shot was amazing. I loved it. In fact, that's my favorite shot in the whole film.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have Godfather Part 2. I'm sure you hate it. It's such a horrible flick, right?
Are you crazy?
No,
it's a
no.
great film. It's
Yes, I agree. It's fucking amazing.
In fact, it's an improvement over the first one. I don't have any of the complaints that I had on the first one, on the second one. I love the editing. I love the directing. And it was nice to see Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same film.
Yes, and his name, who plays Fredo. He's amazing in there too. He's amazing.
His character is so sympathetic, and you feel for him. And I feel with this Godfather, they were a little bit more emotionally drawing, because the first one kind of sets the stage for the characters. On the second one, you have a good sense of the characters. Now the development and the more, I think the storyline was more interesting in the second one. But it comes down to the writing as well. I mean, the writing is brilliant.
And it's elegant. It's very elegant. Has a movie. It's like epic. It's very epic, actually. It's really long. And I like it a lot. Yeah, it's very good.
When Al Pacino sentences his own brother to death, that was, to me, very emotionally involving. I was sympathetic to the Fredo character.
Yeah.
and but this is
I'm
this is
smart. I'm smart.
he would have to live with that he killed his own mother's son, his
Yeah.
own brother, and
Sad, man.
that's this is the decline of Al Pacino as the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is when he started going down, and when you go after your enemies, when you go after people that are against your family is one thing. When you're killing your own offspring, your own brother, your own relative, you're sinking to a level that's really hard to get out of. Yeah, he gets a lot more angrier in this film, and he gets more. It goes more into, I would say, like a darker tunnel,
Yeah.
and he's really sinking to a level that he's not going to be able to get out of.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to live with these things the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a character, Al Pacino's brilliant to watch. I mean, everybody in the film is
Yeah.
great,
Everybody.
but
It's elegant. It's really old school Hollywood.
oh yes,
Epic. No.
that's why I'm a big fan of the '70s films, because they have
Yeah.
more character development, more storyline. It isn't done just for
Yes.
glamour or for special effects. It's done for story development.
Yeah.
Al Pacino's wife, more character development in the second one. In the first one, we just got to know her briefly. In the second one, she was more asserting herself and being really wanting to know what's going on, and not just let's just say like a secondary character. She seemed more involved in the second one as compared to the first one.
Yeah. Okay, man. So, all right. So now I have part 3.
Oh yes.
Part 3, man. Part 3 that everyone hates. Everyone hates for some reason. Are you a hater of part 3?
Well,
Are you a hater of Godfather 3, Mark?
well, I'll tell
Like all the others. Are you a hater?
Give me the damn phone. You know what? I think people are out to lunch if they don't understand the emotional impact of this film. I think a lot of people have been slamming this film needlessly because
Yeah,
it's one of the
why?
best emotionally evolving films.
Yeah.
I just find it more drawing. Al Pacino is his character at this point in the film has realized he doesn't really want to be involved in this anymore, but he keeps getting drawn back in, just as he says in the film. They keep drawing him back in, and the thing with this is that he wants to go on with his life, but he's caused so much destruction. Not just him, but the history of the family has caused so many enemies that they want to lash out at him, and the best way to lash out at him is to go after his family. And even though the intention was not to go after his daughter, it was the way that would harm him the most. Even if he got injured or killed, say he was.
And his acting is amazing.
Oh,
in that
beautiful,
scene,
beautiful, beautiful. When
where
he's and even
yelling and
even the editing, when he's screaming for that first emotional scream and you don't hear anything. It's just, it adds more of an impact than hearing the scream till the scream comes a little bit later.
Yeah.
And it's so well shot. I liked all the characters in the third one. I thought the story development was really good. I love the idea behind it. And, he basically is a man who's made his bed and now he has to lie in it, and he dies an empty soul on his own. He basically destroyed his own life, and he destroyed the one thing he never wanted to hurt, which was his children. Ironic, yeah, because the last thing he wanted to do is harm his daughter, and it ends up, when you're involved in this kind of stuff, you're gonna have your family involved. It's when you love something and people know you love someone, they're gonna go after that. There's no line they're not willing to cross. So he should have realized this a lot sooner, then things wouldn't have worked out the way they did.
Sophia's acting.
Well,
There you go.
Yeah, I've heard.
How's her acting? How do
Well,
you find
well,
Godfather 3?
yeah, I really like her acting. I think she did a great job.
Okay, I can't agree with you with that.
Yeah, I know you. I know you have mentioned
movies
this.
are good, though.
No, you have mentioned this to me before. I actually really like her acting, and I think it's because you could tell she was naive. You can tell that she's not an experienced actress, but I think it worked for her. Her innocence was actually what drew the character to fall for her. So it actually worked to a strength to the film. I'm not saying that she's a great actress, but in the film, it worked perfectly well for me.
I hate her acting, although I don't find it's a great reason to hate this movie.
Yeah,
It's like, fuck you guys, man. Whoever hates on Godfather 3, how awesome all the scenes are, how it's shot, the acting of all the other people who are fucking amazing. Fuck you all, man. Who hate this. It's almost equal.
Yeah, to me, I find it more emotional. I find, yeah, I actually find it, yeah, I find it more emotionally involving than even than the second one. Now, the second one is my favorite of the three, but if I had to pick my second favorite, it would be a toss-up because there's aspects of the first one I really like, but the third one emotionally drew me in more. And I would say it's the most emotionally involving because in the second one, Al Pacino's character basically is ordered his man to kill Fredo, his brother. In this one, he didn't ask anybody to harm his family, but because of what he's involved in, that's what happened. So when you start building a lot of enemies, you don't know where it's going to lead. And I loved the acting. I mean, I think the acting just kept improving. Al Pacino to 1 to 3, there was development in the character, and he played it so beautifully. And all the acting was great.
Connie, same thing. I like her character. She's like evil, like slightly evil and all that.
And the writing, the story idea, I thought was very, very good.
All the Vatican shit actually
yes,
happened.
yeah, that I did hear about.
Real life.
But the whole story, no, but those aspects towards the
Yeah.
end, and the connection for sure. We know that the church is all connected to the mafia, anyways.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not horsing
That
around
is
here.
shocking. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So all three are good. All three are good. Not two.
The third one is great, and it was done. I don't know what 15 years after the second one, something like that.
80 years, I think.
18?
Yeah. 80?
Not 80.
I think it was. Okay, I thought it was 80 years.
No, not 80 years. Anyway,
CGI.
Oh, yes.
It's all
Al Pacino
CG.
looked good for 120.
That's our show, I think. What?
Thumbs up.
So.
There we go. There. We both agree.
Okay. Yeah.
Only if we both agree. If we don't do this. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
One more time. All right.
Thanks for watching.